Hello and welcome back to Fate Grand Order. If you're watching this live on Twitch or on the VOD and wondering, that'll be about Grandia, that will be later tonight. But since I had the day off, I figure perhaps I should do a bit more streaming than usual. Well, we've gotten quite the start to this storyline, and I want to dive right back in. Last time we were just speaking with the Fairy Wind Clan Queen Aurora, who has given us a quest to dispel the darkness over the port town, which I'm guessing is over here. However, someone in the north has shown up and is claiming to be the Child of Prophecy. This is obviously not possible because we know who Saber Caster is. But that at least means the Queen Morgan will be very much distracted by the other one, the fake, while we focus on doing ours. Focus on doing the quest for ours, I mean. Morning, everyone. Hope you don't mind that I had breakfast before all of you. Gotta try this bread, it's soft and yummy. Apparently make it from, oh, right, wheat. Is using wheat for bread unusual here? Seems that way. Too bad, since they have some of the highest quality wheat I've ever seen, even compared to proper human history. That's right, Da Vinci taught me how to make it. I had no idea you could use flour like that. All this time I'd practically been sitting on a gold mine. So this fairy lives in this grand building, but he is ignorant of the true value of flour. It seems there are significant knowledge gaps between individual fairies, or rather... Yeah, there's basically two types of fairies. Those who are only superficially copy human civilization, and those who are actually interested in its inner workings. Most are the copiers who are just satisfied playing pretend, more or less. The thing about fairies is they can do just about anything they need without human technology, so they don't have to know how it works. That also explains why they have no interest in magecraft. You know how when cars get more reliable, there's less need for drivers to repair them? So over time, there's fewer drivers who know how their cars work. It's like that. I think a better example for this might actually be like how back in the days when the cell phones were like flip phones are very rare in general because those only really started taking off in the late 2000s. In the early 2000s and late 90s, they were pretty rare, seen as luxury. Uh, you had to remember a lot of phone numbers pretty regularly, and indeed, I went through that. I had to memorize most of my phone numbers regularly because I never knew when I might need them. I might need to borrow a phone, make a call. But now that I have a smartphone and have had one for a while, and I think most of us have had them for a while now. I'm getting off track. Well, now that I've had a smartphone for a while, I actually haven't memorized a phone number in quite some time, simply because when I get one I need, I simply put it on my phone. I simply lost the need to memorize the number because, well, the phone's doing all the work for me, so why focus so hard on remembering something I won't need to put in manually in most cases? I think that's a better example, and that's from me having lived through it. So, whenever fairies feel like bread, they just create one from magical energy, easy peasy. Ah. But the bread they create in that way is just an imitation of bread they've seen before, like it was a 3D printed one. Basically, they can't experience culture without some kind of originating idea to work from. Even my care used to be a more typical copy. It was only when I started working here that I began caring about the details and such. I'm afraid it's true. I was a real dull fairy until I met Da Vinci. Well, I'm glad she was able to at least expand his horizons. Now every day is more fun than last. I love being alive. I used to think preserving humans was a waste of time, but not anymore. Lady Aurora was right. We need humans if we're going to enjoy our lives. There's one thing humans are good at, it's making technology. They come up with all sorts of fascinating things you simply can't see in nature. Sure, some of those things aren't fun or tasty like iron or gunpowder. But I've come to think of as our equals. Hey, say I respect them. When the last owner left this pub to me, I thought it was going to be nothing but a pain in the neck, but now I know better. We need something to live for, something we want to do for our own sakes, not to fulfill our own purpose. There's no way I'm ever going to go back to just plain old living again. Well, there you have it. In general, fairies are really pure of heart. Or to put another way, easy influenced. Oh, that's not true. It's all because of you. Not even Lady Aurora ever got me to change my mind like this. Hi, Mike. In that case, could you learn how to make I say my name properly already? I thought I was saying it properly. Oh, right, I got a message to you guys from Oberon. Told you to come to Salisbury Fields for an important learning experience. Apparently something about a steak. A learning experience? I think I know where this is going. Oh no, we've got wyverns! Actually, I've referenced that a few times, but I should probably explain it for anyone who's not as familiar, like maybe they've been watching mostly my Arknights content. Back in the early story chapters, they would require a fight be in every node. Like the one I clicked on before the story to continue the story here. The one where I clicked on it, it sent me to the party setup screen and then began the story. Yeah. Basically, each and every one of those required a fight. But as you've seen, some of these nodes here have just been 0 AP, 0 stamina, and just pure story. That was something actually they added later. But yeah, because of that, the early story chapters forced fights into nodes that were clearly better off as being pure story, so all of a sudden people would interrupt being all, oh no, we've got wyverns, or something like that. And then they'd go back to talking as if nothing happened. It was about as goofy as it sounds. But yeah, they started getting smarter about it, hence why there's now ones that are indeed just dedicated to story.
Good morning.
Amours. Yeah, this is why I have to use a rush on the first route. I can get Tamacat here to NP twice in a row pretty easily, but anything beyond that, and it starts pushing her abilities. So I try to make sure the first wave are just fine.
Good morning.
I really like the music in the Lostbelt story arc. I feel it's made a big step up from the previous one. I'll deal with all these tomorrow, I guess. I'll deal with the weeklies tomorrow, I guess. I'm not worried about it right now. As per usual, I'm just gonna leave it to last minute like always, because that usually works out, right? So that's how you're supposed to get rid of these pesky birds. I had no idea. I kept asking them nicely, but they just wouldn't listen. Fields are delicate things. At times they require bolder tactics. But I also understand and respect your kind inclination to not hurt the birds if you don't want to. Like just living a straw likeness of yourself in the field. It would help deter such behavior. That way birds will mistake the likeness for you and start by attacking that. Should buy enough time to do something. Oh my, really? I never thought of that. Are you some kind of genius? Well, I wouldn't disagree with that. Pretty sure that's not how you're supposed to use scarecrows. But I guess these are crows that are a lot more, aggressive than we're used to. Was Tristan always like that? Pretty much. It might seem like he's got his head on straight, but most of the time it's actually up in the clouds. Still, he can be the perfect knight, at least as long as he has someone to keep him on track. Anyway, the caveat is they're also fairy-made imitations of human society of side. Anyway, the caveat that they're also fairy-made imitations of human society. What do you think of Salisbury's fields? They look completely real. True, regardless of how they got here, the fields themselves are indeed the genuine article. Apparently, agriculture has been a big deal in North Britain for a long time now, but it was never too popular in the South. It wasn't until Aurora stepped in that Salisbury finally got serious about it. I've seen small fields back in my village, but I've never seen something so big and open before. Wonder where they weren't more popular till now. Well, we always had to abandon them whenever the moors showed up. There aren't many moors in the north, so there's nothing stopping them from making fields. But here in the south, we see moors all the time, so the only ones that could venture outside the city are strong fairies. The Fang clan can apparently hold out for a while by telling themselves that death and war are intertwined. But for the weaker fairies like me without any astrality, general knowledge of the other worlds, we can't even risk touching moors without putting ourselves at risk. And even if they weren't a problem, we'd still have to remake the fields every 100 years anyway. The calamities, aren't you? Are you scared of them, even though you'll basically live forever? Of course we are. The only fairies that can survive the calamity are the ones allowed to live in Camelot. All the rest of us can do is suffer and disappear. There's not a fairy in Britain who doesn't fear them. I'm not even sure how much longer Lady Aurora can hold on to her glow, not after what happened in Norwich. Make no mistake, now the calamities come for Norwich, Salisbury is next, and when it does, not even Lady Aurora will survive. What do these calamities consist of exactly? I'm not sure. Calamities have always been undefined. Oh, so it's like Arknights where a calamity is just any particularly high-tier natural disaster? It's said they take a different form every time they appear. The last one was the calamity of resurrection, which erased all of Darlington. I don't even want to think of what kind of calamity we'll see next. Interesting. A calamity focused on resurrection. Oh, you know what? I bet it was an undead attack from the sound of it. Since that's an easy come back wrong sort of situation. Ah, why'd I have to be born now? I couldn't my predecessor have held out 10 more years. Never mind that. Won't the High Queen open up Camelot? Why won't the High Queen open Camelot up? If you just let us weather the calamities for a year, we'd never have to worry. I see, so you also have grievances with the High Queen. You know, there have been anti-queen movements. If you want to protest her decisions, why not join one of those? Huh? No, I'm not that upset about it. Besides, I can't even imagine defying her. Might be afraid of calamities, but I'm even more scared of the Queen's army. There's more to the Queen's power than just having enough magical energy to cover Britain, after all. She also has a troop of highly trained fairy soldiers, as well as knights under protection who command them. Tristan of the Bewitched Bow, Gawain of the Sun, and Lancelot, Light of the Lake. As long as those three fairy knights around, the Tamlin are around, nobody can hope to defy the Queen. Huh. What? Wonder why they're all so confused. So they have their own version of Tristan, Gawain, and Lancelot. Curiouser and curiouser. Guess I can grab this while I'm
6
here.
月日本では
As I
気
said, I'll
候
just finish those up tomorrow. I'm not gonna worry about it today. I'm just gonna stream for a couple hours here, then take a break, and then go on to the next game. Which I believe is how streamers usually work, but I can't stream as a full-time job. For better or for worse. Emergency meeting. Now. We need to talk about the three Tamlin that have apparently been serving the High Queen Morgan this whole time. Also, you already knew about them? Well, sure, everyone does. Are they a problem? Oh yes, this is shocking as Sir Bedivere, or when he first wakes up. Can you please tell us everything you know about them? Okay, I guess cover the basics easy enough. That's stuff basically every fairy Britain knows. I guess this must be common sense to them, which I guess explains why it's a bit rough. Why she never thought to mention it, until it would be convenient. Oh yeah, it was brought up before, but when we asked what they were, she said, oh, that's so silly. I guess it must be such common sense that even when forgetting everything, you still remember them. The three Tamlin are fairies High Queen Morgans bestowed with names from otherworldly knights. They're the most powerful beings in fairy Britain, exceeded in magical power only by the Queen herself. They're also impervious to Moore's corruption, so they're the ones who handle them whenever a group of them show up. I don't know if they forget it. They're known as the Guardians of Britain, sworn to service the High Queen, the Knights of the Round Table. So they've made a fairy version of the Round Table, it would seem. Hey, no fair, I want to say that first. Why, do you have some sort of attachment to the Round Table? We are just talking about a circular table, right? Well, I don't see any Loranda. We're gonna have to tell her about what happened in proper human history. Seba, our world also has a version of Morgan, though in our case, that was during the 5th century, about 1600 years ago. There was also a certain king who defeated her, thereby uniting Britain and ushering in an age of peace. That king was known as Arthur, but her true name was Altria Pendragon. Hey, that's my name, quite a coincidence. Not just a coincidence, you two are most likely the same person, just in different timelines. What I'm about to say may shock you, but please don't freak out. In our world, you were Britain's great unifier, a king loved and respected by countless knights across the land. That's right, you were the ideal king chosen by the Sword of Selection, and trained by Merlin himself. You did pretend to be a man during your reign, but aside from that, you were the picture of integrity. As King Arthur, you commanded many lords from all across Britain. Think of them as equivalent to the fairy Britain's 6 clans. And from those lords, you chose the finest knights to be your Knights of the Round, a group of warriors with no equal. Back, full disclosure, Sir Tristan there, he's actually one of them, so from our perspective, knowing the Knights of the Round serve Morgan here is like learning a group of heroes you looked up to are now working for the bad guys. Can you blame us for being surprised? Are you listening to me? Crap, she's so shocked she froze up. I guess that is an awful lot to take in. Wow. I guess I really am a child of prophecy then. Part of me always thought that maybe this was all just some big misunderstanding, but now I'm a little more willing to believe it. Huh. This may have been a lot for her to take in, but perhaps knowing that another version of herself, another timeline was so successful might be just what she needs to get more confidence. I mean, grandfather always said I was born at the time of the staff of selection. Maybe I truly can do this. Maybe I'll take a page from this Pendragon person's example and save Britain. Plus, we even have a knight of the round here. You know, when I first heard you share a name with that Tristan, I thought you must be a pretty bloodthirsty guy. But now that you're actually knight of the round table yourself, that's so cool. Well, I'm certainly glad to hear you speak so highly of me. What do you mean bloodthirsty? Don't tell me the Tristan here is... She had to be the cruelest, most short-tempered, and wantonly violent of the fairy knights of the round table. Her nicknames are the Fairy Killer and Tristan the Bloody Heel. They say she's killed over 400,000 fairies in the 100 years since she was appointed as a Tamlin. But you're nothing like her, Tristan. Seeing you fight beside the master is like, well, watching a flower dance in a storm. You always maintain your composure and strive to be gallant and do your best, no matter the circumstances. There aren't many people like that in Fairy Britain. So the fact you're putting in your trust in me, even though we're all from different worlds, is encouraging. That's... yes. Indeed, that is how I try to conduct myself. A lot of people have a pretty negative opinion of Tristan's, the one playable version right here in the story, because in Camelot he is one of the main villains and also pretty nasty. But of course, that was he not being himself. He even had a curse put on him to act opposite as he normally would, simply to be sure that he could do the terrible things he had to do in that story. However, since a lot of people, including myself, never pulled him, it's very easy for that to be the only experience I have with him. So that whenever he shows up in future stories, they try to make sure he acts a lot more true to the character. That said, I guess there really is a lot more to being a Tamlin than just title, huh? Said in your world, Tamlin Tristan appointed 100 years ago, long after Tristan from proper human history. So if this one's the original, that would make the Tamlin an imitation, but that would mean... Has Morgan known about human history for more than 100 years? Oh, that's right! If she knows about the proper human history version of the Round Table Knights, that means she's had to have known for ages. And that might also explain why she was concerned about... Well, this wouldn't be the first time. In Olympus, they were granted information about the history in order to fight us. And that was huge because Achilles was on our team there, and as you're well aware, Achilles is practically impossible to stop if you don't know his weak point. Which is another reason that servants usually use their class names as an alias a lot of the time. Not just to... In this game, it's usually used to separate their versions, like Castor Artoria and Saber Artoria, but for someone like this, it's also to, I lost my train of thought. It's also to hide potential weaknesses, because, well, let's be honest here, once you know that your opponent is Achilles, you know precisely what to do to beat him, and that's kind of, frustrating to have to deal with on his end. So yeah, most... There's also other characters with conceptual weaknesses like that. And sure, he obviously knows his weakness and does his best to cover it, but only goes so far since, well, it's an innate part of his character that his heel is his weakness. And thus, there's nothing he can do to make himself not weak to strike to the heel. I was planning to tell Seba Casta about King Arthur about and all this. Well, I wasn't planning to tell her about like this, but we should be fine. Plus, we gotta find out about the Tamlin. Really, if we'd run into one of them without any foreknowledge, I think I might have actually died from shock. Anyway, well, this Lostbelt's Tristan and Gawain may not look like the ones we know. Oh, thank you for the follow, Burnin' Light. I stream just about anything on this channel, so feel free to stop by anytime something catches your eye. The fact they share a name must mean they have many of the same traits, so we can expect this Tristan to use the Fail Not and Sir Lancelot to use Arundite. Or Alondite. Depends on translation, I suppose. How's it going? Ah, fine. We're just doing the story, more or less, and I've got a full bottle of water because all this reading out loud can be murder on my throat sometimes. Say, where is Tristan? Speaking of Tristan, where'd he go? Oh, he's in Castoria's room. He said he had something he wanted to talk with her about. LB6's good story so far? Yeah, I'm really being into it. Although I admit I'm biased, being a Fae-adjacent creature myself, a land of fairies, in a way, can almost be like going to a very familiar land. Not always in a good way, though, since I do know how fairy worlds work. I actually was even... I actually did my first tabletop campaign relatively recently. Well, still am, it's in progress, but we did in fact go through a fairy world in there as well. So suffice to say, I was quite excited to get this storyline going. The White Dragon who tried to destroy Britain back when it was still known as the Isle of Sacraments. Vortigern, the Cowardly King. Fury of Britain, personification of its desire to reject the age of humanity. Then there was an avatar of the Red Dragon, born in stark contrast. Some Saba Pendragon. It was the king who protected the people of Britain, preserved its kingdom, and established the human world. While fairies and sacrament may have faded away from Britain as a result, her efforts did succeed at preserving British culture and passing it to later generations. Strength isn't what made Artoria king. Is there any servant you have 120 plans for? I actually hit my first 120 servant very recently. I ended up choosing Tamamo Cat since she was my tutorial role and has never let me down since. So when I have to deal with a group of enemies, I usually drop an Arash and then have her take care of the last two waves since, well, bluntly, she can't loop. She can just use it twice in a row thanks to the sheer amount of battery. But hey, it works, right? Plus her damage is... Well, it's good now that after I gold foed and 120'd her, but yeah. Not sure if I'm going to 120 anyone else, because if we're blunt, it's kind of a pain in the ass, but we'll see about it. Next one's going to be Summer. Ooh, congrats. Good luck with that. He became king and fought for Britain's future. That's also why our knights agreed to set aside their differences and join her. That is right. We all truly saw hope in our king. She was always a cool-headed in battle, fair and impartial in politics, and above all, truly loved Britain. Even with her small stature, she would face down enemies many times her size and strength without fear, or of injury. She sounds like an amazing king. Indeed, she was. I've never known anyone braver, or more disciplined, or more proud. That said, even she didn't start out as a perfect king. After she drew the Sword of Selection, she trained with Merlin Sir Kay day and night for years on end, and that's why you needn't rush things now, Castoria. It's not a matter of you sharing a name with King Arthur, it's a matter of you sharing her vision. So please, have confidence in yourself. I know you can do this. You know, I think she needed that pep talk, Tristan. If I do another one, it might be Jason, since he's my obligatory bronze level 100 unit, but again, that's takes a lot of time. At least him being a 1-star means I'll get the coins for it. Although with rumors of the 150 cap coming up, I do it with Tamo Cap, but you can tell a main pool 4-star coins were designed assuming, well, whales are going to get 12 billion of these, so let's not give you too many on pull. Mine is like NP 6 or 7, and she still needed to get to Bond 13 or 12 or 13 before I could 120 her. And if you're wondering if I skipped the append, yes I did. She has no battery, so bluntly, it doesn't matter if I have that mana loading or not. She's never going to be looping, so yeah. As great as mana loading is, Samacat is unfortunately one of the few who can't really make good use of it, which, much as I hate to say it, there's a very good reason she is considered to be a very low tier 4-star. But hey, she gets work done when you've as massively heavily invested in her as I have. Arthur, truly accomplished vision of me from another world. It's amazing. She must have worked so hard. Still, I do like Jason's animations NP. I chose him for my obligatory 120 because, well... that's the event one. Here's the main one. I decided to bring him to 100 for no other reason than his animations make me laugh. So I wouldn't mind bringing him to 120, plus I can be all, Miramasa who? I got my arts looper right here. Yeah, he's even gold foed, as you can see. But again, it's gonna take a while to get there. Damakad's original 2-star, 4-star. Use over Raiko is my first G-star. Oh, congrats. I think I don't do the GSSR, but I did save up for my first 5-star, which is Sherlock here. Now, unfortunately, he's only NP1, so even if I max out his bond, he will never have enough coins to be level 120, so I figure, I guess 100's fine. Plus, well, as you can see, I do like to grail notable favorites in general. one of each class, so it's probably better that I go with my particular favorites for Grails rather than just focus on one particular favorite. Especially since some of these I like both for gameplay as well as character. Like, well, Sieg, I admitted I couldn't stand him in Apocrypha, but this game really did a lot to fix his writing. And of course, he's a caster with genuinely great damage. I would genuinely be fine taking 120, but you know, welfare before the coin system existed. He can never be 120. I'm hoping they have the new system help out with that on the home server, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. I saw how they brought up main interlude and upgrade it like once every 2 years. I'm not going to get my hopes up until I see absolute confirmation. A caster, eh? Looks like we're going to face some more enemies. Actually, let's change my own Castoria to Ascension 1 so we can pretend she's the story Castoria. Animation here. We'll keep her with the final Ascension there, but yeah. Status icon and... and there we go. Ooga coins when it becomes permanently available, I think. Yeah, like I said, they did introduce a new system to try and add older welfares, and I do appreciate they immediately started with Ryder Toki, because poor new players who missed him, he was just really that good. But, again, we haven't gotten too many updates yet, so I don't want to get my hopes up. Remember, we also started with a couple welfares like BB and Archer, or Attila the Hun, so for the main interlude, but then they neglected to update that only once every like 2 years, so... And yeah, I know they said it's for main story stuff, but it's not all of them are actually that tied to main story. Plus, well, Olympus directly discusses some Musashi's event there, so wouldn't that make it main story? It's just kind of arbitrary, so my policy is the same with Hollow Knight Silksong. No excitement until I actually see it happen. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst, as they say. That's my stance. I'm back. You should have seen me out there, Mike. I somehow managed to complete 3 tough Oberon quests in a row. Oh wow, sounds like you're getting kind of desperate. Why don't you have some apple water around the house? Thanks, Mike. That's so considerate of you. You're getting the hang of this pub owner thing? Aw, cut out, Da Vinci. Thanks to you, my perfect angel. Well, first we arbitrated a dispute between wind and earth fairies over the right of a sunlight on the main road. Then we had to run a safety check on the mysterious items, which turned out to be a bunch of bouquets that had been set on the head of a wind clan. And finally, we had to subdue some out-of-control wind fairy who had been unlucky in love for the past 30 years and wanted to have romance with a human. Surprisingly, none of this was at all easy, but this made completing them all the most satisfying. I was a little nervous at first, but everything worked out great, at least. Oh, I almost forgot. You, the human. You've got a guest up in your room, and trust me, she's not the kind of fairy you want to keep waiting. A guest here, huh? Oh my. So this is a human bedroom. It is not too different from ours. No, that's not right. We wouldn't even have rooms like this if not for humans. Really, we are the ones who should be thanking them. Pardon me. We have to be polite. So you are back, human. You did well with the farm incidents yesterday. As a wind fairy myself, you have my thanks. No problem. Was that all you wanted to say, or... You may have received word of a missing companion. Every human captured in South Britain is taken to a ranch out west, and the new human was brought there 3 days ago. May have been the one you were searching for. If you wish to go rescue it, I'll arrange a guide for you right away. Tonight, I'll have a few soldiers stationed outside Salisbury. You are to rendezvous with them and finish your rescue before the night is over. I also have a message for you from Lady Aurora. She says I hope you find your friend there. Alright, thank you, Coral. Don't thank me. Thank Lady Aurora. Now, if you excuse me, I must return to my post. I don't know what has brought you here, and I'm in no position to offer you advice, but you should know that the ranch belongs to the High Queen, so it is very well guarded. Alright, so that's the scoop. That's the situation. Oh, wow. When they said it'd only take 2 or 3 days, I didn't expect them to actually come through that fast. Excellent. So this human was brought 3 days ago. We don't have a moment to waste. I don't know what kind of facility this ranch is, but I know it was not the time for cowardice. I agree, Oberon may not be back yet, but seeing as how we have a guide, I think we'll be fine with it. So what are you gonna do then, Castoria? This is a matter that only concerns us, and we'd understand if you'd rather stay behind. I'd be glad to help. Plus, I've been dying to just find out what the real MASH is like since I inadvertently used your name for a while. Besides, I'm feeling a little more confident after these last few days. Be it infiltration, lockpicking, or brewing sleep potions, I'm sure I can handle it now with my Merlin Magecraft. Great, you'll have to tell me more about that Merlin Magecraft later, though. Yeah, so how is Merlin in this timeline? That's gonna be quite interesting. It would seem these soldiers will be our guides. This is quite the surprise, though. I thought these soldiers would be fairies and not humans. But yeah, most of the soldiers are actually human. They may not hold a candle to fairies when it comes to sheer combat, but they have no problem using weapons, and above all, the Moors don't pose any immediate threat to them. So yeah, human soldiers are basically the fairies' Moors' countermeasure. Most of the clans treat them as disposable tools, but Aurora sees value, even appointing them more talented ones as personal guards. Remember the ones we saw protecting the cathedral? The fact they were so strong is proof she's given them various rights. Are you feeling okay, Castoria? Oh, I'm just a little nervous. I've never been around so many humans before. That doesn't make sense, does it? I mean, I'm obviously fine with you. Right, they've noticed us too. You there, suspicious. You're the ones outsiders Coral told us about. Can't believe you actually showed up. Why now of all times? This is exactly the pain in the ass I don't need. Well, if this is what Lady Aurora wants, fine. We'll follow us. We'll show you the way to the ranch. Be warned, it's a 2-hour walk, so you better have everything ready, do you? Yes, thank you for showing us the way. And you guys are dressed in the weirdest clothes I've ever seen. She sure does love her novelties, doesn't she? Yeah, it's Fae culture, alright. Not very happy to see us, are they? They probably think of us a bunch of annoying pests that moved in on their beloved Lady Aurora. Even so, that doesn't change the fact they're helping us, and we should be grateful for that. Come now, Master. I'm afraid we won't be able to talk for a while, but we should at least make for a good time. Help us make good time. We're here. This is the West Human Ranch. Not a human city, then, I take it. That is right. We used to live here, too. We were assigned to a horde fairy who robbed us of everything we had, down to our dignity, before throwing us away like trash. Us stray humans had nowhere to go until Lady Aurora took us in. We became soldiers so we could win the freedom she showed us was possible. We support overthrowing the Queen as well. But we're nothing like that trendy rebel army who's counting on the so-called Child of Prophecy to bail them out. Rebel army. I've heard them mentioned before. Does that mean there's an anti-Queen movement outside of Salisbury as well? Yep, the rebel army is situated in that old castle ruins out east. They claim to want to free all of Britain. They even have the gall to call themselves a round table. So they're definitely a force to be reckoned with. They're led by a human who actually survived against Lancelot in a joust in Camelot. Morgan herself offered him a reward, saying he'd prove himself equal to a Tamlin. His name was Percival of the White Light, the man who reached the limits of human ability. Morgan was so impressed with him that she commanded him to join her forces in Camelot, even though he's human. But instead he refused and formed a rebel army. That's enough, it's too dangerous to stay here any longer. If anyone sees us here, Lady Aurora will pay the price. Let's just ditch these backwater fairies and head to Salisbury already. I take that means you guys were only here to show us the way. Sneaking in the ranch looking for a companion's our job, right? You're damn right it is. You should be thanking us for taking this far. The Wind Clan might be good at everything, but they don't have the outright temperament required for combat. If Morgan ever thinks they're rebelling against her, Lady Aurora is dead, as well as all of Salisbury. Even knowing all that, Lady Aurora still asks us to help you. So listen to me. Whatever you do, don't you dare mention Salisbury if you get caught. Got that? You better not bite the hand that fed you. Not if you have any pride at all of being called human. Ah, yeah. They know that humans are not bound to laws like fairies are. If a fairy promised to never mention that, they would, but a human technically is capable of betraying it. Okay, let's discuss our next move. I just finished analyzing the ranch's internal structure. Humans may not be magical creatures, but they do certainly have some perks, if you can call them that. From what I can tell, there are 6 big factories in the middle of complex, and 30 smaller ones. I don't sense any heat sources, so they're probably shut down now. But these factories have lots of heat. The small ones have lots of heat. They seem to be about 60 humans inside. What do you think? If we scale the walls, we could probably sneak in without the guards spotting us. Alright, we're gonna have to roll a climb check on that. By the way, are you kind of upset about something? Not at all, I'm just concentrating on what things are like inside. Now, let's forget about those whiners who ran off and focus on finding Mash. You still have connection to Mash through your contract, right? Can you sense anything? If you can, it's the fastest and easiest way to find her. Maybe, I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to tell right now. There's probably too many cross lines to say for sure. Honestly, I'm feeling the same thing. There's just way too many contracts going around Fairy Britain. Maybe whenever a fairy takes possession of a human, they form a bond that's similar to a servant contract. If I'm right about that, then the only way we'll know whether Mash is here is to see for ourselves. Tristan, do you think you can carry the Master and Saiba through the wall? Castoria through the wall? Don't worry about me, I can get there up with my roller skates. Of course, I'll be the quietest, most graceful wire work, liar work you've ever seen. Both of you over here, if you please. And I'll lead the way. The western wall is most lightly guarded, so let's go there. Looks just like a town on the inside, too. Castoria, I assume those large factories you spoke of earlier are those complexes, and the smaller ones the homes. That's right, humans kept at ranches like these are shipped out with their creativity intact, so they should be confined in houses rather than pens. Just ignore large factories, we will never find Mash there. It's not birthing season yet, so there shouldn't be anything inside let's not ask about that. Ah! Oh, there's something there. Behind you, there's something there. A surveillance familiar. It might have been disguised as a street lamp. I can't believe I messed up again, I'm sorry, but we need to take it out now before it calls reinforcements. Guess we're a little late. But that's okay, as long as we wipe them out, that'll work, right? As they say, it's not a war crime if there are no witnesses. Endurance battle. Alright, let me hydrate while I'm waiting for the animations then. Luckily, it's not too fast. It's not too slow, though. I'm very lucky that I don't farm with Kiara or someone else with a ridiculously long MP animation. There we go. It's probably not worth NPing, I just need to hold out for X number of turns, but it's fun to do that this way.
Good morning.
Excellent, Skadoodles has gotten us a full turn of crits. Sadly, they don't appear to be dropping anything. Oh, it's just survived 3 turns. I thought it'd be a little more than that. Yeah, I just have Gareth with me to get some bond up so I can do the interlude for rewards. Yeah, again, I'll get all those done tomorrow. I don't want to... I have more important things to worry about right now. Damn it, they keep coming. There must be a fairy close by, making more of them or something. Can you find them? I do it myself, I have my hands full. Okay, time to stay calm and look closely. Time to roll a perception check. There's something in that building's shadow. You're correct. There's no sound at all coming from there. I suspect they've hidden themselves perfectly. But nothing can stand between my symphony and my enemy. How do you like your midsection sliced into quarters? What are you people? Whatever you just did was neither human nor fairy. You're obviously not Moors, and you're not with the Round Table Army. I'm the Child of Prophecy then. Oh, this is great. Things are finally going my way. I am Knight Grant. No mere Child of Prophecy Magecraft can ever hope to match our High Queen. High Queen Morgan herself has bestowed this armor upon me. It'll take more than a few swings to shatter it. Who's there? Well, whatever they are, they're no ordinary fairy. Please be careful. I'm guessing this is one of the Tamlin we've heard about. If so, then we're going to find out. Pretty sure this won't kill, but should be fine. Honestly, I probably should have used Surfer Mordred for this. On. Hey, quit smacking around the Berserker. A few of them have abilities that make them stronger the lower HP they are, but it's not an innate ability they have. It has to be part of their kit. Which is a little weird if you ask me, but... well, that's just how it goes.
Good morning.
Grant the Knight. I don't remember a Knight of the Round Table named Grant, so I'm going to work on the assumption that you are going to drop like a bitch. Generic enemies usually don't resist debuffs, so... I'll keep around Caliburn as a safety measure in case he gets to his NP. Although for generic monster enemies, those are, actually, that's not a generic enemy recolored, is it?
Good morning.
Don't you dare think this armor's gonna break. A Brave Chain here should do a good amount of damage. I should probably give her the faux pas as well, but the thing is, she doesn't really use her face cards that often. I should probably save those for someone who does. Air raids nigh. How was she alive? No, seriously, how did she survive all that? I guess that must be the... well, that's what happens when you overinvest in a single unit. They're going to... it's gonna pay off. Might as well protect her. I need to make sure the red card's at the end. Because I need raw power to finish this. And there we are. Of course, he'd spam defensive abilities. Alright, is that for a number of... okay, so 2 left. Failure. Of course, because of course it would. Alright, 2 hits and... wait, how many here? And 1 left. Okay, yeah. Defending our MP means nothing. It is over. His guts has run out.
もちろん負けないぞ。突破します。
Of course he gets away. Why wouldn't we finish him when we get the chance? Well, whatever. We got a good item out of it. I believe I don't have very many of those yet. Ugh. I can't believe it. A knight of Camelot falling to such insignificant... Well... He's not moving anymore. Do we get him? Should we chop off his head to be sir? I won! That Tamlin was super duper strong, but I still managed to beat him. I couldn't have done it without all of you. I'm afraid that was almost certainly just an ordinary knight. For one thing, there was no Grant among the Knights of the Round Table, and for another, look over there. Crap, 3 more knights, each with the same identical technology as the last one. We were barely a match from alone. There's no way we could take on 3. Come on, let's get out of here. But Da Vinci, we just kicked his ass pretty easily. It's just that he had a lot of guts was all. There we are, through the gates, squads, take on more soldiers at the front. Squad 2, take control of the factories, get our comrades out before they're disposed of. Reinforcements, castle gates, damn it. So the child prophecy is just a decoy. First we need to take back the gates, be careful, these soldiers are from the Londinium rebel army. Don't underestimate, some of them are armed with iron laced with Morse poison. Ah, I wonder why I didn't think of that. Well now, I wasn't expecting reinforcements. That must be the rebel army we learned about earlier. Individually, they may not be as strong as fairies, but quantity is a quality all its own. At this point, it's only a matter of time until they defeat those 3. So it would seem, that was too close for comfort. Still, once the rebels are done with these fairies, we can't be sure they won't turn those swords on us. Come on, let's look for Mash while everyone's occupied. We should save making contact with the rebel army for after that. Can you show us where to go, say, Castoria? Alright, of course, don't worry. I'm a great lockpicker. Besides, Da Vinci's right, we can't be sure the rebel army will see us as allies, so let's find Mash and get out of here before anyone sees us. Well, damn, I should figure the locks in the Queen's facilities would be tough nuts to crack. True, the Round Table Army did manage to open over 29 houses in the time it took us to open 1. I can't even claim credit for this one either, since the Round Table Army took credit for this one, since the Round Table ended up opening it too. Now cheer up, I mean, as a tech genius myself, I definitely get how you feel. More important thing is, all the humans being kept in the houses were freed. This reminds me of the aforementioned tabletop session. Long story short, my sorcerer does have a lock-picking spell for opening locks, but it ended up failing at one of the more plot-relevant ones. And our alchemist ended up breaking it open with ended up getting a natural 20 for with a disabled device. Because I guess locks count as devices, apparently. It was funny, at least. But the important thing is that all the humans being kept were free. Too bad we didn't find Mash. That doesn't mean it was all a waste. At least now we know she wasn't captured. And isn't that way better? Yeah, wherever she is, I'm sure she's okay. Oh crap, it's gonna do a meanwhile. She's not actually in good shape. Everyone this way, don't worry. We have plenty of food and jackets to go around. Gone away as soon as we've gotten everyone's names to care for injuries. And if anyone knows about any other humans kept here, let us know. I believe it's an army of humans. Humans defeated the Queen's soldiers. Then the rumors the Round Table Army are true. We don't have to do what they say anymore. We can go outside, really? But the knights said outside was dangerous, that humans would die instantly. We should stay and study until we grow up. 2 years since I last went outside. I have to hurry back to Gloucester. I got separated from someone I care about deeply. That poor child, hope she was able to get by without me. I must say, I'm very impressed with this Round Table Army's leadership. They even took the knights they defeated into custody, sparing their lives, instead of finishing them. They're a properly disciplined army, not a lawless mob of killers, so is Percival, the strongest of all human knights who formed the Table Army. Oh, this gladdens me. Well, I'm sure he isn't the same Sir Percival I knew. This other one is certainly doing his namesake proud. Both you guys, thanks for your assistance, it was a big help. We had been investigating this ranch closely for the past few months, so we knew its security would be light as day. We didn't know we wouldn't be the only ones making a move. I was especially surprised to see the 4 of you managed to take on just one. We were prepared to lose about 20% of our soldiers, but thanks to you guys, we got off no more than a handful of casualties. What city's rebel army are you from? I don't think I've seen you around. Are you from the north? I've heard some trouble up in Sheffield. Is that where from? Castoria? So are you people really? Oh, I see. I forget we're still the only ones who don't distinguish between fairies and humans in our head counts here. Sorry if I offended you to call 4 of you same. No, that's not quite right. Is everyone in the Round Table Army like you? I don't know about that. I mean, we all have our own goals, our own way of thinking. One thing is, the one thing we do have in common is our faith in the commander. We all agree with Percival's ideals are worth fighting for. He's always talking about how the Child Prophecy will appear one day, and how he wants to assemble as many like-minded allies as he can in the meantime. He says that way, when they finally does appear, there'll be a firm anti-Queen foundation in place to help take some of the heavy burden off their shoulders. Enough yammering. Looks like they're done with the roll calls, so we're going to escort these people to Londinium. Want to come with us? We're always looking for more strong warriors. We would, but there's something else we have to do first. That's right, we appreciate the invitation. We're trying to find a missing person right now. Gotcha, that's too bad, but I understand. You take care, then hope you're able to find this missing person of yours soon. I guess that's that then, but you made the right call, Master. Honestly, I'm impressed you were able to turn him down. Yeah, I could tell Castoria wasn't very keen on it, so... While I would like to learn more about this Round Table Army, finding Mash absolutely has to come first. It's just not the right time to join forces with them quite yet. Exactly. I knew one of the original Knights of the Round Table would understand. You're a real gentleman's gentleman. I am Tristan, child of sadness. Not a knight who lives and dies on chivalry alone. That said, if Sir Bedivere was here too, I may have been forced to make it difficult. Master, get back. What's going on here? This isn't looking good, is it? So you attacked when security was at slightest, huh? Devious of you, I'll give you that. But it won't win you the day. That's exactly what pathetic conviction I would expect from humans. You thieves are gonna scuttle around the shadows. You can't complain if you haven't crushed under someone's boot. What's going on with this magical energy signal? I can't even get a reading on it. That fire took out most of the Round Table Army. Well, I should have known they were an army of red shirts. Squad 2, Squad 3, are you alright? Damn it, how many soldiers did we just lose? Are we the only ones who survived that wall of flame? Can't be. So few let's yet live. That flame would have consumed you all if we'd been in an open field. But this ranch belongs to High Queen Morrigan herself. I can't exactly raze it to the ground. So I'll crush the rest of you with my own horns. Go on, humans. Try to fight back. Show me you're truly brave, and I'll be merciful. Show me you're cowards, and you'll have nothing from me. It can't be happening. What's she doing here? That great sword wreathed in black flame, silver white armor, fairy king black dogs. It's Tamlin Gawain. Why is the queen's right-hand woman here? You. I like to get that good use out of that effect. That's that ash effect. If you refuse to take up your swords, you aren't worthy to cross horns with me. We've captured the escaped humans, Lady Gawain. We'll soon have the rest of these thieves captured. It'll be easy. We have 3 fairies for every human. No need for that. They're my quarry. I'll handle this myself. I can't let her overwhelm me. I have to try talking with her. So, you do have some backbone. Good, you're actually making me work up an appetite. Don't bother telling me who you are, because I couldn't care less. The High Queen told me all about you. You must be the master from proper human history. So she is well aware that we're here. Oh, spare me the surprise. The High Queen has told the Fairy Knights about the outside world you call proper human history. She also commanded us to capture you alive, should that opportunity present itself. Capture you, how unlike her. Listen well, you shameless intruders. You uppity primates have a lot of nerve barging into Fairy Britain like you own it. Tell me, in your world, is it considered courteous to welcome visitors from afar? It's considered courteous to welcome visitors from afar, right? Very well, then take up your swords. I'll give you all the welcome you want. I'm Gawain, Knight of the Fairy Round Table, sworn to protect Britain. This name bestowed upon me by the High Queen. I shall destroy you without mercy. I'm going to guess we can't beat her because, well, that's how just RPG logic. Now for my anti-boss team, a Lancer would definitely not be a very smart idea, would it? I don't like Chloe's a character, but I can't sit here and pretend she isn't an incredibly good archer, so here. Well, I am going for Oberon. There is without spoiling, there is someone else on that banner who might be able to replace her, depending on the situation that happens with that. And I'm going to use the Atlas uniform for maximum defense. Alright, first major boss fight here. Let's see how I do, shall we? Tamlin Gawain. Endurance battle. Yeah, as figured. Well, I figured that it'd be a survival battle rather than actually win, but I'm glad they're actually marking it when it's an endurance battle or when you actually do need to focus. Like, Lostbelt 3 had a few fights where it genuinely was impossible to tell if it's the one you were actually supposed to win or a plot one, especially since the final battle against a few of the bosses. Some of them were clear, okay, this is the end of this guy, but in others, it was a lot less so. Bonus effect when defeated, increase when the enemy is defeated. Apply target focus on a single enemy at the end of turn. Gain resistance to all attacks, foul weather. Not this one. The upgrade to this, well, it's nice that a welfare unit, a freebie unit, event unit got an upgrade. I have to admit, this is oddly specific. Increased Ilya buff success rate. There's only, like, 2 Ilya units, and, well, they do, in fact, have an RNG buff. That does basically mean that they have it entirely to justify this skill. Well, I guess that's just how it goes sometimes. Alright, let's go. Dang. What the hell? Wait. That prick! She actually removed a command seal! And the daily reset for them just passed. Oh, you are pissing me off. Now what's her overcharge again? Decrease critical rate, not bad, but I think Asclepius is gonna be better, yeah. So we'll put hers first, Asclepius is after. Actually, no. Actually, no. Actually... Yeah, actually, we'll put around Caliburn last because that will give me 3 stacks of ultimate protection that she cannot bypass without attacking. I appreciate whenever games have male healers, you just don't see very many of those these days. Oh, you son of... Daughter of a... Oh, wait, Hmm.
こうしてほしいんでしょう。
If she's going to be doing this, I don't really have much of a choice. I have to make sure she can't use it, so I need to use it on someone else first. Before I do that, who's the target on? Oh, right, her cleanse... Oh, nice, that's right, her, Castoria's cleanse on NP removed the taunt effect. That's really nice. Alright, in that case, let's use on her. And I need to do that because if Bargus is just gonna be... Ignore that. Damn it! Ignore that. Unfortunately, I do know the true names because it's impossible to avoid those spoilers, but I do not know her role in the story or any of that, since I now need to put my hands on the table. Alright, Gawain here is clearly just getting stronger the more command seals I have, so I need to waste them. It sucks ass severely, but I don't have a choice.
よくただの
どうしたいの？
少し痛いぞ動くな
こっちよ。強食。
But there's no magical energy left. Yeah, if I knew she was gonna spam that, I'd have wasted the other one too to get a Slapius's NP, but this is not a world in which we live, I suppose. One turn left. I think I can afford this, but let's keep her alive here just to be safe, because I really don't want to risk it. Might be a bit of a waste, but I want this active. Triple crane wings, and here. Chloe's my only hope for this. She's as big a tank as the main timeline Gawain, that's for sure. No wonder she got the title. Numeral the Saint. Alright, they're going to use their NP, and this is a survival battle, so I think this is going to be the last turn. I think, usually they have to use their NP, so I can't just NP seal it here, unfortunately, but we'll do this. Around Caliburn to give everyone protection. Then we'll just have Chloe do the archer thing and hope that deals some decent damage. Excellent, some good crits. Ah, she just used her extra attack. Unfortunate to lose a Slapius, but he did his job. I do wish his guts applied to himself, but that's not the world in which we live in, I suppose. Remove that debuff if you please, Jason. Alright, I think I might get one last NP on Chloe before it ends, so fingers crossed, because that'll make it a lot easier. Only one time, huh? Only one time, one turn, huh? I guess I can at least waste... I can make sure Gawain wastes her attacks at the very least.
とっておきそうしたいの
Alright, let's go. If we can get that first break bar, I think it should be enough, but...
山を抜きなお落ちることなきその両翼着翼三年ならぬ
Ridiculously stacking attack was one of the reasons I was considering going for Miss Crane while she was here, but... Well, this is a famous year for a reason. There's just too many good 5 stars. And... Here we are. And to think I already cut it down to just the 2 I care most about. That's how bad it is that I cut it down. I still didn't have room in my budget for her. Well, it's the first fight, so they have to kick our ass by laws of RPG rules. Not yet. I can't give up yet. Stay with me, Master. Oh no, he's seriously drained. I don't know how she's doing it, but she's somehow eating his command spells. Never felt feedback like this before. It's still pathetic, but there's something more to it. You there. That look, it's not fear or despair, it's hatred? Good, you figured out that much at least. It's been a while, hasn't it? I could have gone my entire life without seeing you again and been happy. Oh well. You know her, Castoria? I don't know you. I don't remember ever seeing a pipsqueak like you before. Are you some weed I stepped on or something? Either way, don't talk to me again until you've grown more. It's a little pain in the neck looking down to talk to you. Not like a run like you's likely to do much growing. Why you? I'm guessing she's the one responsible for taking out Castoria's hometown. And by that extension, it makes sense for going here. It'd be for me, it was Tuesday situation. Enough talk. You intruders get no mercy from me. I have no more time to waste on you. Die now, humans and servants alike. A bowstring? Indeed. A bewitched, unbreakable bowstring I can wield how I wish, to be more specific. You'll never be able to get past it, no matter how strong you are. So it would seem, is this one of the Wing Clan's threats? I'm surprised there's still any left. But so what? You don't actually think you can defeat me with this, do you? Defeat you? No. Detain you, yes. Here, take the Master and get him out of town. I'll hold Gawain here, and sure she doesn't come after you. You got it. It's not gonna be easy, but I'll make sure he gets out of here no matter what. Come now, I'll carry you in my mechanical arms. Stand up, Castoria. I'd carry you too, but I'm afraid if I could, but I just can't. What about you, Tristan? Oh, don't worry about me. It would seem this is where I die. Huh? You're not serious, right? You can't just throw your wife away. You're too injured. It's alright. This is not the first time I've faced down Sir Gawain like this. Besides, I've already thought of a trump card I can use against her. If it all works out, I should be able to catch up with you soon enough. That said, I'm afraid I can't use it with all of you here. Go, my king. Please hurry. You are still at the beginning of your journey. Okay, I'm ready. Follow me. If you can't keep up, I'm gonna leave you behind. You got that, right? Let me guess. You've decided to sacrifice yourself to let your companions escape. Oh, come now. That should have gone without saying. You really are Sir Gawain. Your body is strong and hard as a rock, but then, so is your head. Tell me something. Are all servants like you? Pawns are willing to throw their lives away for the Master because they neither fear death, nor know what it is like to truly live? Oh, I don't know how to put it that way. Even servants hope to avoid death. In fact, I'd say we fear death more than we did when we were alive. We heroic spirits know all too well how miraculous a miracle it is to be summoned. We know this opportunity will never come again. We know how rare it is to be granted dreams even after death. Most of us, we know what dying feels like. We know how painful, how bitter, and how sad it can be. You may think we can bear it because we've experienced it before, but I'm afraid you'd be wrong. Death is something living beings can only truly bear once. To suffer the pain of my own death over and over, to make others grieve my passing several times, is simply more than I can take. If I may confide, I'm hoping you'll let me escape with my life. Whether you live or die here is up to you. The only one I mean to kill is your master. If you're willing to stand down, I'll let you go. It would be a shame to waste this impressive technique of yours. Even if your master were dead, you could still live life here in Fairyburton. No, Gawain, I could not, and that is why I am going to stop you. It's the least I could do to repay the debt I owe to the one I trusted my knighthood, even when I was fighting against him in my moment of weakness. I know nothing of your life or circumstances, and I confess I don't care a whit about your idea of justice. My only interest is using this life of mine for the one I love, no matter what it takes. You tied my whole body up with string. When did you do that? So what? If you think a mere human could hold me down, you're... What is this? How is this even possible? How'd you pull these strings all over town without any magical energy? I never saw you even move your hands. Indeed, these restraints rely on weight, not strength. The mass of this very town, this culmination of human technology, is what holds you in place. Thanks to our earlier battle, I know very well how strong you are, and I know you cannot break these restraints with brute force alone. I may no longer have the fingers in my right hand, but I still have my mouth. Now, otherworldly knight, prepare to face the full force of my air strike. What? You say it's lowly human technology that holds me in place? That does it. You deserve to die a miserable death after all, servant. I'm going to dash any hopes you have to this pathetic trick working. What are you like? It's no use. Song of my pain and sound of my grief. Fail not. This is my arrow. That is barely worth mentioning. Behold my true form. Proper human history, how feeble you are. You are stunted, spineless, you don't know when to stop. You don't even stain my sword. If she's forced to reveal her true form, that still means she was forced to do something she was likely never planning. Are you hurt, Lady Gawain? What are you going to do about the ranch? Oh, don't worry about it. I'll take full responsibility when reporting to Her Majesty. Now, gather all of our fastest runners and go after the human servants who escaped. You should be able to catch up with them much quicker than me right now. I'll join after. Don't worry. I'm not just saying it like that idiot knight did a moment ago. Once you catch up, surround, restrain them, but don't kill them until I get there. Yes, Lady Gawain, consider it done. That hurt more than I expected. My body's still a little numb. I should have asked his name. He deserved that much before I killed him. Hold on. What was that, Winnie? What was that sound? Sorry, I'll explain later. Right now we have to get away from the fairies chasing us. Can you stand? Can you run? I'm gonna put you down then. Let's run for it. How can Earth Clan fairies be so fast? They're almost on us, Da Vinci. Damn it, after Tristan managed to buy us some time. Well, what can we do? There's nowhere to hide. What's that sound? That sounds like galloping, doesn't it? Oh, good. I made it. I heard you guys were in trouble, so I figured, hey, Fairy King Oberon to the rescue. You guys know what carriages are? Great, get in. I'll catch you all up later. A carriage, as in carriage? The kind only clan heads are allowed to use. That's right, tools to exploit animals are prohibited by British law. There's some fairies out there who voluntarily provide such labor. My name is Ridgerbit, the Fey Horse. I'm a Fang Clan fairy who's always been fascinated with carriage culture. I usually serve Lady Aurora, but just this once. And I agreed to serve Lord Oberon as well. Something tells me this is fate at work, so why not sit back and see how great a carriage ride can be? So it's a carriage, but with a fairy for the horsepower. There's a whole lot I'd like to comment on. For now, I'll just say great timing, Oberon. Come on, guys, the soldiers can never catch us now. Clever of them. Do you know who that carriage belongs to? No, my lady. One of our soldiers used to build carriages, but he said he didn't recognize the design. He thinks one of the clans must have made it without the High Queen's permission, but I'm sorry we couldn't be more help. No matter, call the soldiers back. We're returning to Camelot. Are you sure, my lady? I don't have time to go around chasing rats. Scratch that, not even rats. Britain's the High Queen's garden. No garden is entirely free of pests, after all. I just let my temper get the best of me this time. Next we meet, I'll grind them beneath my foot, assuming I ever do meet them again, of course. We have someone much better at squashing bugs in any case. Ah, you mean Fair Lancelot, the strongest one in all of Britain. She'll crush those bugs in no time, no matter where they hide. What are you talking about, Lady Lancelot in front of Gawain, you idiot? Have you got a death wish? Forgive me, I meant no disrespect to, of course, the strong. It's alright, you are correct. She is indeed the strongest. But watch your tongue next time. She's not the strongest of all Tamlin. She's the strongest creature in all of Fairy Britain. She isn't even in the same category as us. Remember that. Yes, my lady, I'll never forget again. Good. Now bring the captured humans here so I can deal with them before we leave. Wait, you got it wrong. This isn't our fault. The soldiers opened our doors, so we didn't want to go. Please, I never hope for freedom again. I still have 10 years. Doesn't that make me valuable? Interesting, she can convert humans into minions. Know your place, dog. Any human who much as thinks of running away is worthless even as a slave. This new form suits you better. By the time I'm done breaking you in, maybe you'll be ready to rejoin your fellow human slaves. Interesting, does that imply she can undo it as well? Fragment 2. That was quite a bit. Actually, let me grab a sip of my drink before we continue. This is murder on my throat. Ah, there we are. Well, that was, something. Tristan may not have done any serious damage, but he did force her to reveal her true form, and I imagine she wasn't originally planning to, and that by itself does mean something. Oh, the cart's heavier than usual. Come on, let's just be rid of that weapon already. No buyer's gonna want something that's scary looking. Don't be ridiculous. You're gonna make a niece tear up again. Don't you remember how grateful she was when we agreed to help bring that weapon along too? I definitely remember how happy you were when she took your hand. What'd she say? She was called back. When she comes from again, a handshake? They've got everything under the sun in Norwich, and I know they love their transient glowcaster, but I've never heard of any custom like that before. If you're feeling tired, Rob, would you like me to take over? I can still pull the car even without memories. No need, no need. I'll manage on my own. You keep resting up. We're almost a glowcaster, and everything looks its best. The amnesia girl and the 3 stingy fairy peddlers named Rob, Wag, and Winky. Together, these strange bedfellows make their way further north from the nameless woods. The peddlers who thought to sell the girl to ranch along the way, but Rob, who hated wood woes, the head of the Fang clan, would have none of it. He insisted that anyone so violent didn't deserve a beauty, and that was the end of it. Way to go, big bro. I guess it's them riding it? Oh wow, I can see a city in the distance. What's it like there? That's Gloucester. Pretty impressive, right? It's a special place even for Britain. It's an upper-class society run by the head of the Wing clan, Murray and the Adored. That's all about trends, brands, and joy. It's gonna be Nero, isn't it? They made an alternate Nero for this story, didn't they? You can get anything you want there as long as you pay for it. Lovers, slaves, fairies, humans, everything. No, that's really my kind of place. All the fairies who settled down there are posers and trend followers. Most of the stuff's just gold-plated hunks of dirt anyway. It's all shine, no substance. Oh, really? I thought you were really proud of your glowcaster knife. That's exactly because it's a fake. A real knife that nice? I'd be too afraid to breaking it to actually using it. I see, that does sound like you, Winky. You don't like glowcaster, Winky? Then why'd you pick that route? I'm scared of the Norwich Calamity too, but we still could have gone there instead. What are you, stupid? We can't use any eastern routes this time of year. The rainy season just ended, so the Drake whose territory will be at its biggest right now. Hell, I hear they haven't even fixed the Norwich Bridge yet, so glowcaster's our only choice. But believe me, I'm not happy about having to bow and scrape to show off Murrian. Do you really like this Murrian person, huh? Where'd you get that from? I just said I hated her, right? But you look so kind when you're talking about... Almost jealous. Cough, cough, hack. Ah, check it out, bro. Winky's so flustered he's coughing. Why so embarrassed, Winky? You ashamed of the truth or something? Hey, shut up. It's not like that. Anyways, you guys gotta hear... Did you guys hear about the big kerfuffle in Camelot? They say an assassin snuck in about 10 days ago to try and kill High Queen Morgan. Yeah, I heard. Fought through tons of soldiers all alone and made all the way to the throne room. From there, not even what I heard, not even Gawain or Tristan could stop them. But then Lancelot flew in and beat the shit out of them, right? Apparently, they had a badass mid-air battle, but ultimately the assassin dropped in the pit. Whoa, Lady Lancelot's really something else, isn't she? So she can fly. Gawain, Tristan, Lancelot. What's up, Anise? You get motion sick? Hey, Rob, take it easy. Rod's beginning a bit rocky. Oh, no, it's not that. I just have a headache. I know those names, my chest got a little tight. Can I ask what kind of people these fairies are? Right, she might have known some of the Tamlin herself. Probably better if we don't say anything here, then. I mean, you don't know? Those are the great Tamlin, the Knights of the Round Table. There's Gawain, the most feared in all of Britain. Tristan, the most hated in all of Britain. And Lancelot, the most beautiful in all of Britain. Couldn't do business without those three taking care of the Moors for us. Well, not that Tristan never does much to keep us safe. Hell, I'm more scared of her than I am of the Moors. That's why I never go to New Dollington if I can help it. Wag, the younger brother, smiled innocently. All Rob and Winky were afraid he might jog Anice's memories, but then all of a sudden... Brrr. What? Black dogs? This is all your fault. These things wouldn't have been here if you didn't talk about Tristan. Just leave the cart and run before they eat us alive. You two, Anise, get away. I'll hold them off as long as I... Ah! I don't know why you're attacking us, but I'm not gonna let you hurt anyone. You want to pick on someone? Pick on me.
落ち着いて落ち着いてやー前に出ます
Well, I guess they do work in packs.
倒れてやー
You'd make Neofumi from Shield Hero proud. Thank goodness my body just moved on its own, but it looks like everything worked out. Is everyone alright? The girl stuck her shield on the ground with a resonating thud and turned to face the fairies. She was greeted with stunned stares from all three, and who could blame them? They'd never seen such a graceful knight before. That was amazing. I can't believe you sent all those black dogs packing by yourself. They're some of the most despised creatures in all Fairy Britain, drawn to the putrid smell of death and decay. They are of the Unseelie Court, evil fairies unaffiliated with any of the 6 clans. They come and go at a moment's notice, and the only kind of species of fairy in Britain who feeds on their own kind. I guess Tristan doesn't count there, so they mentioned something like that, I think. No, they just said she was murderous. I guess I couldn't remember properly. Hang on, how could she be this strong? Maybe she's the child of prophecy? Come on, Rob, there's no way. How else do you explain it? She's got an iron shield, iron armor, and you saw for yourself how strong she is. She's gotta be at least as strong as a Tamlin. If that ain't special, nothing is. Yeah, gotta be. You achieved all ours and everything. Child of prophecy, me? Don't worry, I'll tell you all about it. Child of prophecy is gonna defeat the queen and save all of Britain. She's the savior we've been waiting for a long, long time. She's gonna save all the fairies. Rob, the greedy old brother, and Wag, the innocent younger brother, began excitedly telling her about the Mirror Clan's prophecy. Ah, so this is the mysterious child of prophecy that we were told about earlier. Alright, so this must have been an earlier event that occurred. Truly believed it. One did with calculated intention, the other because he truly believed it, but when the Amnesia girl saw them so happy, she thought whatever they was talking about must be a good thing. And inadvertently began to believe it herself. Idiots are gonna regret this. Even lies have a way of becoming true. If the rest of the world starts to believe in East of the Child Prophecy, then that's it, we're done for. It'll be only a matter of time someone even greedier than us takes her away. Well, true, she's also probably going to be a lot harder to catch than they usually would be. I wouldn't get too bothered by that. I'm assuming this is not a boss, so let's just bring my regular farming team. I see, so Tristan stayed behind. He was a great knight. I don't know much about fighting, but even I could see that. So if that's what he chose, it must have been right. If only the plot hadn't ruined it. I probably could have at least gotten that first break bar As you saw, it was almost broken by the time it ended. What do you want to do? Want to go back to the ranch? There's probably nothing left of him by now, but you could at least, mourn him. The whole ranch is in ruins now, and the Tamlin's already left. It should be safe to go back if you want. No, there'll be time to mourn after we find Mash. I agree. Tristan didn't sacrifice himself so we could go backward. He did what he did to give us a chance to move forward. We can always report back to him after we found Mash. I see. Forget I said anything then. Anyway, I really just showed up in the nick of time, didn't I? That's one of the many benefits of my royal charm. I get to ride a white horse to save the day. Now, I'm really glad I pleaded with Aurora to let me borrow this carriage. Only issue is, there's some kind of problem with the color of my coat. Well, I guess it kind of looks whitish in the right light if you squint. I'm highly amused that Oberon's expressions are all just a different, face on the exact same portrait. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Well, thanks for cheering us up. So you're feeling better now? Great. Then here's another piece of good news. The city of Gloucester up north is about a day's journey from here. They hold auctions for rare and valuable goods every day. And word is it that one of their hottest new items is a fairy with an unusual iron weapon. Apparently, some peddlers found them near the Nameless Woods. And they plan on putting them up for auction as soon as tomorrow. Fairy with an iron weapon near the Nameless Woods? It's gotta be MASH, I'm sure of it. We gotta get there right away, but what about those peddlers that brought her there? Apparently, they hope to sell this fairy for quite a pretty penny. They did a good job of sticking their guns against Gloucester's lord, but then it came out they had prior charges of theft, fraud, and harboring anti-queen sentiments, so they were arrested. And since Gloucester's lord is big on capital punishment, they were supposedly hanged last night. I rushed back to Salisbury as soon as I could find out. But when I heard you already left, I got a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. Oh, well, I guess that kind of solves that problem off the bat, doesn't it? Huh. So I asked Aurora for a favor on the condition I'd owe her one and got to the ranch as fast as the carriage could carry me. I see, so that's how you managed to get something so valuable. That was very quick thinking. Thanks. Well, I'd prefer to rest up in the autumn forest if we could. Time is money and all that. I assume it's so long to Salisbury and off to Gloucester. Yeah, you know it. Excuse me, could I say something on first? What was it, horse? We were just having a moment here, you know? I know, but I'm a proud Fey horse, the most rambunctious and chivalrous stallion. As a matter of principle, I can only entrust my back to those I've recognized as my master. I was willing to come this far on Lady Aurora's orders, but if you insist on going, well, I trust you see what I'm getting at. Carrots? The battle! I guess to establish that, yeah, this isn't actually red hair. There we are. That's too close. Yeah, berserkers are absolutely made of glass. Although I suppose that probably is the conclusion one would already come to. I do need to apply this to make sure she has enough refund. I don't need this since she's already protected for the turn. Alright, this chain should deal with it. Plus, we should get an overgauge, so she'll get a decent...
Good morning.
Excellent. Red Hair's Furious Dance Phenomenon. Raedra get, so Raedra bit, Raedra mit. So this is what you're gonna do. Interesting. It's not gonna work, but very interesting all the same. Guess it was good I brought Tamacat here after all, because she's about to clear out everything here instantaneously. In fact, let's put Caliburn before so that she gets the attack buff.
デリシャスなのだな。
It's a little dangerous because it means Tamacat will be out for a turn if I don't kill this turn,
あ
but
れはいつか見た終わりの
some
星。
risks are worth taking.
どれほど遠く汚れても、私は星を探すのです。さあ、幕を開けて、アラウンドカリバーン。というわけで皆殺し。ゴキル安に七人。
That's overkill on the side ones, but it does apply to the middle one as well. Haha!
ありがとうございます。皆さんのおかげ
Well,
で
that worked out. Hey, contract finalized. I'm a bit amazed you took my secret technique in stride like that. You must be a fearsome warrior who has overcome all sorts of harrowing ordeals. Very well then. From here on out, my legs are as command. As long as your path isn't unsavory, I'll take you where you should go. This Fey horse is the best she had to offer. Maybe Aurora isn't as well liked as we thought. I wouldn't say that. This one's impressive on his own right. Anyway, I trust that there's nothing else left to say, yes? Please take us to Glowcaster. And don't forget to drive safely. I can handle a few bumps, but these guys here are all not to worry, I can assure you I've never broken a speed limit my entire life. Alrighty. By the way, Oberon, what's that outfit? I kinda like your old cloak. Oh, this? This is what I wear whenever I'm gathering information. Queen soldiers don't always take kindly to people asking questions about the state of Fairy Britain, so I avoid standing out by dressing in drab traveling clothes. I'm impressed, Oberon. I'd never consider an outfit like that to be drab. Oh, I didn't know you were interested in fashions, Castoria. Does that mean you prefer outfits like Da Vinci's then? No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, someone like me dressing like her, that'd be laughable. For now, if you're definitely not ready yet. Ooh. Okay, that's enough Castoria teasing for now. Alright, you two, would you mind telling me how much you've learned about Fairy Britain while I was away? Well, that's about it. The regular occurring calamities, the Moors, fairies, and human societies, Salisbury Rebel Army, Round Table of Londinium, and the Tamlin. I'm impressed. If you already knew that much, then I only have one thing left to tell you. And what is that exactly? Queen Morgan's objective. As you know, she's been inscribing command seals onto fairies, levying magical energy from them as an existence task, and ending the lives of fairies who aren't able to pay up. Well, it turns out she hasn't been running so much of an impressive regime for the last 2,000 years just to maintain a rule over Britain. Her real objective is to attack proper human history and turn the land of fairies. She wants to expand Fairy Britain to encompass the planet and overwrite human history entirely, turn the Earth into one giant British Isle. Well, that explains why that thing is growing, and also that we're not going to be able to talk her out of whatever she plans to do. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Ringo Miniad is precisely how she intends to do it then. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. It's why High Queen Morgan continues tormenting the fairies day and night to this day. As you can see, we need to defeat her for humanity and fairy kind alike. Oh hey, do we finally get to see her then? Kneel, present, worship, submit, crush, kill, destroy. Bow your heads, leaders of the 6 clans. Bow your heads, 30 ambassadors, 100 officials. You're in the presence of High Queen Morgan, the ruler who expands our boundaries, upon whose shoulders all of Britain rests. Hear her words, and obey. Same faces yet again. How terribly dull. Are for you neither absolution nor salvation. Remember always that all Britain, down to the smallest pebble, is mine. Without my protection, the land of the Fae would not see the next sunrise. Yes, your majesty, we are your humble servants. All our time is yours, our loyalty to you no waiver. Very well, you jesters may stand against the wall. I'll now let each of the clan heads speak. What have you to say? Thank you for your generosity, Your Majesty. Please allow me the honor of going first. Council recognizes Lord Spriggan, head of the Earth Clan and Lord of Norwich. Thank you, Secretary. According to our observations, Norwich's Calamity Pool should reach critical mass in approximately 10 days' time. I'd like to take this time to say if there is any lords present within the properties still in Norwich, please come speak to me after this meeting. Interesting that his name is Spriggan, since that's usually a species of fairy. I can assure you that even if the moors engulf all of Norwich, our bell tower will remain safe within an impenetrable fortress made of anti-Moors iron. If you wish to store your valuables there for safekeeping, I'm sure we can come to an arrangement. Sounds to me as though you don't care if your entire city disappears as long as your money is safe. Council recognizes Lord Woodwose, head of the Fang clan and Lord of Oxford. My request remains the same as ever, Your Majesty. I urge you to take this opportunity to expand your army. The Moors continue to grow in number every year, and the Round Table army upstarts need to be dealt with. So I must ask you to increase your human shipments to assign more humans to the barracks. Oh, does this mean the Fang clan alone is no longer up to the task? I suppose not even the fairy, once known as the Sword of Britain, the great Lord Woodwose himself, can defeat the advancing age. Silence, you infant! How dare you speak to me like that? If you weren't in Her Majesty's presence, I'd crush your head in my jaws for such insolence. Now, Woodwose, you should know better than that. Remember, every fairy in Britain looks up to you. Lord of Oxford, and owner of the restaurant most responsible for our food supply, should conduct himself in a manner like a gentleman, right? Right, I know you, Aurora. That Aurora I do. I am not the raging frontline fighter I once was. I'm the calm, rational leader of my clan. What a joke. If this is to be no more than the usual sniping each other, would you mind if I excuse myself, Your Majesty? We're putting up a very rare item for auction today, and I have a lot of work to do to get things ready. Council recognizes Lady Murrian, head of the Wing clan and Lord of Gloucester. I already said my piece. Neither the Calamity nor the Anti-Moors countermeasures have anything to do with Gloucester. So if all you twisted fairies want to do is argue with one another, by all means do so, without me. Then again, Norwich has sent us good product lately, so I suppose I can offer some aid, if only a little. Do give my regards to Count Pepperon Spriggan. Let him know that if he ever decides to move to Gloucester, he'll always have a place here. Lady Knocknara, head of the King clan and ruler of Edinburgh, absent. Lady Ansel, head of the Mirror clan and guardian of the Lake District, absent. At this time, with High Morgan's permission, the council would like to welcome the Tamlin from New Dollington. That's a really good effect, actually. It doesn't use much animation, but it certainly gives a good effect. It doesn't leave much to the imagination, we'll say. Who the hell think you are? Think a damn secretary has the right to say my name? Come, mother, when are you gonna stop letting these stupid secretaries shows already? Can't you pick someone this hideous? What about the human with their limbs sewn to the wall? Or one who's been put to the guillotine? I swear, mother, you're too soft on fairies and humans alike these days. Maybe you need more excitement. Why so quiet all of a sudden? Isn't it your job to kick up a fuss when something unusual happens? If you can't even do that, you don't deserve to live. Would you rather die by my string instead? If it isn't Tristan, how good of you to grace with your presence. You are the knight among knights who defends all Britain, and above all, you're the High Queen's beloved daughter. The only one in all Britain who will carry on Her Majesty's magecraft. There you are, go, that's it. I knew you could if you tried. But I still think it lacks a little something. I've got it. Patheticness. Which is why you three are going to show the others how it's done. Ah, my feet, my ankles are gone. Go on, jump. Let me see you hop around those little stumps. Oh, right, you're not supposed to spill blood here, and you three are getting it everywhere. You're so rude. Gotten just enough blood on the throne room. Just throw yourselves out the window into the pit now. My body, I can't control my body. No, just coming back from the pit. Somebody stop her before she, So she has a bowstring like Tristan, like our Tristan. Swoosh, nothing but pit. Oh, I see. It's supposed to be like nothing but net. So it's basically she was playing basketball with their limbless corpses. Well, Mother, what do you think? Makes the meeting so much more fun, right? What were you doing? That was Camelot's own Minister of Justice you just threw out the window. bloodthirsty fiend. Know your place, Tristan. You think because the High Queen took a low-class fairy like you as her daughter, you can... Silence, Woodwoes. This is a family matter. See, your Majesty loves it. Time for you to learn your place. Sucks to be you, you overgrown cur. Why don't you just retire? We're way stronger than you ever were. What did you say to me, girl? Stop, Woodwoes. Don't let her drag you into her games. You're the head of the Fang Clan now. You cannot let your temper ruin our reputation. Oh, Lady Gawain the hard-ass. A little more dullness to round out the boring meeting. You're lucky she showed up, old-timer. Just wait, I'll take your feet next time. Give us your report, Gawain. What transpired at the ranch to the south? Yes, High Queen. Some rebels calling themselves the Round Table Army managed to take control of the ranch. The guard you entrusted with staves were captured, and the humans attempted to escape. Upon learning of this, I took upon myself to control the situation without waiting for your orders. While I did succeed at wiping out the rebels, I'm afraid I also destroyed the facility and allowed 3 interlopers to escape. I'm also having the escaped humans transported here for re-education as we speak. High Queen, I'm prepared to accept whatever punishment you deem fit for me. What is your ruling, High Queen? It is alright. In light of your accomplishments at Sheffield, I'll overlook your failure today. Lift your head, Gawain. I plan to demolish that ranch in any case. While you did take it a bit too far, you did ultimately save me the time of mobilizing the Earth Clan. Now, is there anything else you wish to tell me? Yes, Your Majesty. One of the interlopers was the human you told us about before. The Master from proper human history. Master of proper human. Then Barrel Gut was right. There's more. One of the fairies accompanying the human appeared to be from Fairy Britain. What I could tell, she seemed to be about 16 human years and used the same kind of magecraft you did. She what? What are you saying, Gawain? You don't think that fairy is the child of prophecy, do you? Child of prophecy is no more than one of Ansel's delusions. High Queen Morgan is Britain's one and only ruler. How could you believe such nonsense like a common peasant? You're a servant of the High Queen. You should be ashamed. Oh, quit yapping, you damn mutt. No, Lady Tristan. You can't blame Lord Woodwose for being upset. The Child of Prophecy is also connected with the Integel incident after all. You know, the coastal village that was harboring her? Well, Lord Woodwose was the one who razed that village to the ground, though it seems the child herself escaped him. Yeah, that's kind of what happens if you start raising places hoping to get the prophesized hero. You end up giving the prophesized hero, you know, motivation. Apparently, there was a girl about 16 with long golden hair who managed to break the blockade of Fang Clan ferries surrounding the village. The soldiers who witnessed it said she fought like a raging storm. They also call her the girl who uses magecraft. This is Queen's second coming, High Queen Morgan's daughter. Don't you dodge my spell, Capless. That was meant to kill you. I'm the mother's only daughter. Got it? I couldn't care less about this child of prophecy, but you better not speak rumors like that any further. Oh, these aren't my opinions, Lady Tristan. The Fang Clan are the ones spreading them. Still, if you think about it, fine upper-class fairies of Camelot. The Moors will continue to increase in number. A calamity is about to befall Norwich. The Conarobs in the north, the Londinium in the south, and recent rebellion in Sheffield, and now we have an invader from the outside world that Lord Barrel Gut warned us about. I don't believe Ansel's prophecy any more than you do, but you can't deny the pieces are falling into place. The Child of Prophecy is indeed real, or at least the common fairies who know nothing of politics believe she is, which is more than enough. Yeah, like Oberon said, it doesn't really matter what the truth is, just that people believe it is true. There's no time for our clans to be fighting amongst themselves. We must put the people's minds at ease. So I suggest we work together to do something about it, starting with the Calamity Pool at Norwich. What say you? You do have a point. Whether the Child of Prophecy is real or not, we must do something about Norwich's Calamity Pool. High Queen Morgan, would you be willing to send your army to Norwich to quell this disaster? I believe Lord Bogart, ruler of Sheffield, made a similar request. I understand how you feel, Aurora, but we can't send out Camelot soldiers. Almost certain Majesty's troops would make short work of the Calamity. Sending them out would also leave Camelot vulnerable. Honoraba is constantly on the lookout for any weakness she can exploit. We cannot leave the castle unguarded. I agree. The way things are going now, it's going to be the War of Spring and War of Summer all over again. Only this war will be fought between Her Majesty and the self-proclaimed Queen. We do have the upper hand over her forces, but only just. The wars of spring and summer. You speak of the Fey-era war between the North and Southern fairies, yes? Indeed, the Northern fairies have been clamoring dominion over Britain for thousands of years. I thought they had settled down and agreed to submit to High Queen Morgan's rule, but seems they're still up to their old tricks. Oh, deplorable. Why can't they seem to pledge their loyalty like we've all done? Given the circumstances, I suppose it truly isn't time to worry about Norwich. Though it pains me to say this as their lord, I'm afraid I have no choice but let my residents die. Worry not, I'll use the water mirror on Norwich. It will destroy the Calamity along with most of Norwich, but the bell tower will remain intact. So long as the castle remains, it'll fall to you to rebuild, Spriggan. It's time for you to demonstrate once again the skill, the knowledge you take Norwich from its previous lord. If that is your will, High Queen, how much can I expect in the way of financial aid? I'll give you 1/3 of the flotsam wasting away in the West Treasury. It is foreign Duritus that has drifted here from proper human history, but you could ask for no greater reward, could you? Ooh, that sounds wonderful, Your Majesty, thank you. And what of the residents of Norwich? None will survive this. Is there anything you can do to make them evacuate at least? Oh, I've been urging them to evacuate for some time, but they refuse to leave. They are either too attached to the land, they love their jobs, or they don't think the threat's real, or they think the child prophecy saved them, or some other combination thereof. As great as my clan may be, I'll be the first to admit they can also be a bunch of hard-headed fools. Having said that, where would you suggest them go? Salisbury, the Wind Clan city? You know just as well I do how poorly the Earth and Wind clans get along. It's a problem not even the High Queen herself can solve. It's rare things like this can wrap up in a north little bow, so... No, I'm afraid Norwich is a lost cause. Why don't they come down to my place? You'd be happy to take any poor refugees looking for a new home. That's just the kind of place New Darlington is. Ain't that right, Lady Spinel? Huh? Right you are, Red Barrel. I didn't know you were listening in on this boring old meeting. Now, my fair lady, don't be like that. There's nothing boring about it. These clans have agreed to put aside their many differences and focus on what's best for Britain's future, you know? You won't find a more entertaining show anywhere in the country. Not that you'll find any other show in this country either, but still. I've changed my mind. Lady Aurora, let's arrange time to discuss the peculiars of evacuating Norwich's residents to Salisbury once this meeting's continued. Whatever our differences, I'd gladly take that or suggesting my fellow fairies to the National Slaughterhouse Theatre. These problems concern Fairy Britain, and we fairies should be the ones to resolve them. Yeah, I can't be surprised. What was only a brief appearance, Beryl showing up in Olympus made it very clear. He is, so bad, even the bad guys, were messed up, felt he was messed up. Oxford would be glad to take in refugees as well. While I can't stand how many rules Earth Clan smithing breaks, that doesn't mean I'm about to send them to a needless bloody death. Gloucester's neutral stance remains the same as always. Our doors are always open, both to refugees and fairies who are just tired of being holding to their clan's customs. Oh, what, now you guys are all buddy-buddy? I guess your roommates really hate me, huh? Man, that makes me real sad. You'd think High Queen Morgan's first ever boyfriend and future ever King of Britain would demand more respect. Yeah, Beryl, hurry up and marry Mother already. The most powerful fairy in all Britain marrying a human. Frickin' hilarious! Yeah, something tells me that Tristan's approval of this is just more proof that it's horrible to have happen. And then you'll marry me next, right? Is that what you humans do, like marry as many people's life? Of course, Lady Spinel, but let's not rush things. No matter how much you may care for someone, the moment they belong to someone else, a lot of shine tends to come off. There's no guarantee the same won't happen to you. Once you see me as Her Majesty's husband, you might wonder what you saw in me at all. So we don't want to make any hasty decisions when it comes to marriage. Who knows? Maybe the partner of your dreams is even closer than you think. You don't have to worry about that. There's no one else for me but you. Very well, I understand your concerns. Yeah, I'm kind of with Woodwose on that. This is extremely cringeworthy, and I am a cringeworthy streamer. My course of action remains unchanged from my public declaration. At the end of year 2019 of the era of the High Queen, Fairy Britain, the land of the Fae, shall rule this very planet. The wall of light that surround British Isles shall disappear, and our world shall overwrite the wicked world that lurks outside. Once it does, you shall be free of the calamities, and a new age shall begin. I shall build a new land of fairies, and your clan shall die to serve as its foundation. Yes, Queen, your will is our command. Then here's my decision. Nothing need to be done about the calamity pool in Norwich, so you will not advise its residents to evacuate. Regarding the Child of Prophecy, I'll consider the threat she may pose to my rule. Furthermore, once the invaders from proper human history are found, they're to be captured and brought here alive. Therefore, there's something I'll have them tell me. If Master Gawain Saw is accompanied by the Child of Prophecy, so much the better. Woodwose, Spriggan, Murray, and Aurora, you are to assemble a team and begin your searches at once. I want to see those rebels and invaders brought before my throne. Whichever clan brings me shall be rewarded with 500 acres of land. This meeting is now concluded. Clans are missed. You know, all that extra land is a bit hard to appreciate when she directly said at the end of this year, all of you are about to die for her plan. Tamlin, here's your next mission. As before, you need not search the child prophecy. I don't get it, Mother. What good are any of this stupid clanheads gonna be? I could find the child way faster than anyone, right? And Lancelot's going for his speed. All Lancelot has going for his speed. I can use the infinity mirror you gave me to go anywhere at a moment's notice. There's no need. Leave the child of prophecy be. I'll send word of my edict later. The rest is in your hands. Your Majesty, Tristan. Can you not behave yourself even for a moment? You not know the reason. You do know the reason she was so strict with you is because the clanheads are here, right? She may be our all-powerful High Queen, but she still has to keep up appearances. She can't treat you like a daughter, like her daughter at council meeting, and then use her attitude towards Beryl. How do you think it looks for the Queen's daughter to be so intimate with the human man, and the High Queen's own lover at that? Have you ever considered the kind of pressure she faces? The kind of thing people say about you, your own morals as a knight? Just shut up, you big dumb bitch. Who the hell think you are lecturing me? I don't know how you even have time to worry about my reputation, seeing as how you're always looking for the next literal romantic snack. How many lovers have you had this year anyway? For such a big gal, you sure are good at bed hopping, aren't you? Ooh, maybe you can give me some pointers about romance sometime. I guess since you literally dig into your lovers right after you gather to bed, it's probably more a matter of filling your stomach than heart, huh? What'd you just say? Just kidding. Don't glare at me like that. I understand, really. I'm totally aware your romances are sincere. I mean, you're so awkward. You couldn't two-time someone if you tried. You know what they call you, right? Gawain of many loves, the big eater. Gosh, you poor thing. Nobody understands you, do they? They have no idea you only jump into bed with those you truly, genuinely love. I'm going back to the castle. You should stay on standby until further notice. Ah, that meeting sucked so hard I didn't get to spend any time with Mother. Again. And Woodward's stench the worst. There's nothing more foul than old game mixed with bad cologne. Spriggan's fake-ass smile made me want to puke. Morian's goody-goody act was so transparent. And Aurora's the worst of all. I wish I had a good reason to excuse to tear her to pieces. Hope she slipped up soon. If she just acted against Mother, I could wipe her and the stupid Salisbury all out at once. Or even listen to me, Beryl. Oh, he's not here. He was right there a moment ago. Oh, I see. He must be down at the theater. They're doing a show with those humans we captured the other day. So they make humans fight each other and the last one standing gets to live. What do you call it again? The gladiatorial games? I used to think it was a pain in the ass, but it's actually pretty fun, especially the very last part where you tell them the champion gets to go free. Idiots, if that'll happen. Humans can be so entertaining. Then again, I guess this really is the time to be laughing. I know what Mother said, but I can't let this go. Why is who does this child of prophecy think she is anyway? Everyone knows I'm the only one who uses mage crap besides Mother. She has only one daughter, and it's me. No way I can let trash like that live. Oh, this is pissing me off. Seems like she's a big fan of shoes. Oh, I know what to do. Times like this, there's nothing better than shopping. See the newspaper has today. The Knocker Company is getting out of Gloucester. New brands coming soon. Oh, so the Spriggan shops is going out of business. Too bad. Spriggan sucks, but shop at least a good shit. Hang on, this means it's going to be replaced by... I knew it. It's going to be a count shop. I'll say this for Murian. She always knows what's hot. Looks like I'll be going shopping in Gloucester again then. Plus, she already mentioned she was getting things ready for a special auction. Fine by me. I can make an auction nobody will ever forget. Weekend, oh my. Alright, time to form the party here. Wonder what kind of fight this will be then. And it sounds like the Wind Clan leaders dislike of the Queen is an open secret, but nobody can act until they have actual evidence against her. I guess the fairies are copying human politics too. Look, I can see the city off in the distance now. Might take us a whole day, but we're almost to Gloucester. Alright, let me grab a sip of my drink here. Yep, and now that we're here, we shouldn't have to worry about the Queen's soldiers coming off for us for a while. Gloucester belongs to Murray, the head of the Wing Clan, and is fighting against the law here. She doesn't pick fights with any other clans, and she's not completely under Morgan's thumb either. As far as Murray's concerned, this is an autonomous region that just happens to have diplomatic relations with Fairy Britain. That's how she tells it anyway. Is that why Morgan's army won't attack here? Even Morgan only has limited power in Gloucester. As for why that is, well, still something's different here, right, Da Vinci? Say, with the mana density? Glad you brought that up, I was just about to ask. There's nothing wrong with my gadgets, but the ones powered by magical energy are refusing to work. Is that because this area's unique mystic traits? Because the rules of the world itself are different here? Exactly. As to why, well, that gets the nature of the fairies themselves, and not just here in Fairy Britain, it applies to proper human history as well. Like how there are several different kinds of fairies. Some are former gods fallen from grace, others are acclamations of human and animal animosity, and bits and pieces of souls. They are essentially thoughts and feelings with nowhere else wrapped up in a shell made from human rumors. Those sorts of fairies only exist because human society exists, and strictly speaking, they're not pure fairies. Pure fairies are those within the planet or the planet's inner sea, whose existence is in no way contingent on human civilization. In the Magecraft world, fairies born within the planet's inner sea are known as Great Fathers and Great Mothers. You can think of them as divided spirits of the Earth Soul. Yes, that's good enough. In scope, they're comparable to personified nature gods, but unlike gods, they can't impose any rules on humans. Great Fathers and Mothers are pure supernatural. This Lostbelt, fairies of that rank who appear on Earth's surface, either as some sort of mistake or mission from the planet itself, are known as A-rays. Proper human history, the fairy who lent King Arthur his sacred sword was, in fact, a great mother themselves. Vivian was her name, if I remember right. I'm guessing proper human history's Morgan also inherited that great mother's authority. Though, of course, Morgan's father was also King Uther, the ancient king of Britain, so I suppose that would make her a human-fairy hybrid. King Arthur, however, is human-dragon hybrid. It may seem similar on the surface, but deep down they couldn't be any more different. So, the fact that one ultimately decided to defend humanity, the other, the mystics. King Arthur chose a Britain where humans could thrive, and Morgan chose a Britain where mystics could thrive. As for which one chose correctly, well, your own human history bears that out. If mystics had continued to rule Britain, it would have resulted in being excised from all of human history. That's right, this Lost Belt was deleted after all. But I digress, getting back on track. A-rays are equivalent to a great mother, but possess a will of their own. They have a unique ability to remake the world around them according to their inner truth, or rather their essence. This phenomenon is called a Fey domain. It's a grand mystic that only very powerful fairies possess. An A-ray generate descendants, or terminals if you will, simply by existing. These descendants are called Forest Children and Stone Children, and they're the majority of the fairies in Fey Britain. These descendants may have only a tiny fraction of the A-ray's power, but that doesn't change the fact that they're descendants. And some of these descendants have more A-ray blood in them than others. Murian, the king of the Wing Clan, Lord of Gloucester, is one of them. All that is to say that Gloucester has Fey domain that can't quite be... All that is to say that Gloucester has a Fey domain that is quite the pain in the neck, a domain that takes Murian's temperament and mischievous nature, turns into a law that denies strength itself. A law that denies so the weak become strong and vice versa. It did behave like that for a time, but now it's a little different. These days, nobody's allowed to bring strength achieved through training into Gloucester. All who enter, even Morgan herself, is listed with no more than the strength than they were born with. So it's a city where everything goes back to level 1. But, yep, the ones most adamant about making the rules are also the ones with the way around them. So it's probably safe to assume Murian is the only one in the city who does not have to play by these rules. If that's true, it also means her word is law, so keep that in mind. Sounds like this A-ray is a term unique to this Lostbelt. In other words, they're probably close to elementals or true ancestors. So are there any other fairies that have inhabited these A-rays powers? Maybe the other clan heads? Like, does Aurora have a Fey domain as well? No, she doesn't. Most fairies with that kind of power end up being excluded from their clans. Sometimes they are ostracized, other times they're unable to control their own laws and end up falling apart. Yep. Of the 6 clans, the only ones who can impose their Fey domain rules are Murian and Noctaraba. Most of the other domain folders fell apart and became ghosts wandering the countryside. They're called night calls. Depending how you look at them, they can be even scarier than Tamlin. Okay, everyone, we're almost to Gloucester. I know this is a surprise, but I'm actually a member of the Fang clan, so I'd rather not go inside if I can help it. I'll be camping out here while you do your business, so just call for me when you're ready to leave. And just as no understanding, let me be perfectly clear. Despite how I look, I'm not a Wind Fairy. I'm a Fang clan. I'm sure you must be shocked, but it's true. Yeah, I had no idea. Okay, let's split up. I'll go with Da Vinci. And the Master will go with Castoria. The auction will be held at night, so kill time however you'd like. Anything goes in Glowcaster, so you'll find a lot of fairies living it up there. You still have all that money you earned in Salisbury, right? Well, you can use it here too, so don't be afraid to cut loose. Don't worry, just think of it as a date, and it'll be nighttime in no time. It's about you, Da Vinci. Is there anywhere you'd like to go? We could go to a cafe, but personally, I'd recommend the Warped Observatory. It's so dizzying, it'll make you want to throw up. Oh, he's already headed there. Why even ask in the first place? Anyway, it's a short notice, guys, but you alright with this? You are? Okay, I'll play along then. Wait up, Oberon. Are there any museums around here? There's so many fairies in the spell. There has to be at least one painter. And we're all just awkward. Well, there they go. I guess for the time being, should we get going? For the time being... Oh, sorry. It's all happening so suddenly, I'm still catching up. Alright, we've come this far. No sense holding back now. Now that we're in Glowcaster, might as well enjoy it. Come on, I'll show you around. Wow, there's so many things that seem just so vaguely off here. Strange, isn't it? I felt the very same way when my first time here too. Far away things look big, close things look tiny. Sometimes there's pink rain, sometimes the main streets covered in rainbows. Sometimes boys become girls, girls become boys. Basically, it's a whirlwind of constant change. Last time I came here, I got 0 out of 10. And in a princess's pageant, a girl wearing a scarf made out of insect thread made have my clothes and... Wait, why? None of this makes any sense. She said they were ugly and be better off without them. I wonder what that girl's up to now. I'm sure she's not... I hope she's not doing too well. I'll have to get her back if I ever see her. Oh, I haven't seen you two around before. Are you here for tonight's auction? Never thought to have any human stand. I never would have thought to have my human stand out more than me. You know, possessions that make people envious are all the rage right now. That's why I made yourself look so plain so you could dress up a human instead. It's brilliant. I'll have to try that myself. I'm starting to see what the deal here is. Speaking of the auction, could you tell us more about it, please? Oh, merchandise? A fairy with the iron weapon. Apparently they had a bad fairy from another world who rebelled against the High Queen. I'd love to attend the auction too, especially since there would be no problem keeping a criminal as a slave, but since you need an invitation, I decided to give up and enjoy a night on the town. I'm sorry, I know I should have been the one to ask. I kind of froze up. It's okay, but it looks like we need an invitation. What are we gonna do about that? Well, we won't be able to get one on our own. They only sent it out to upper-class fairies. I don't like it, but it looks like our only option is sneak around the town hall. But don't worry, there's no one better at stealth magecraft than me. Just you wait, I'm gonna show you what I can really do. What's this deja vu I'm feeling? I have been in this place before. Help, is anyone there? My pet mice just escaped their cage. I promise I'll make it worthwhile if we can catch them. Oh dang, are we going to get that one servant a year early? That'd be nice. Looks like there's a bunch of tiny creatures running towards us. What do you think we should do? Oh, right, he's still getting his bearings, isn't he? Well, nothing can be done now. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud. It's because battle started. I'm pretty sure you're gonna regret this, but at least be a good lesson. Everyone is at level 1. Well, if the enemy is also at level 1, that should be fine, I think. Yeah, 4, 6, and 10 are the big level thresholds for levels. Mice for breeding, huh? I'm pretty sure those are dragons and not mice. But I'm not going to question it. This is Fairy Britain after all. Even at level 1, an NP is an NP. I can still do the loop here if I do it right. Alright, that should be easy.
Good morning.
I may have lost the levels from the Grails, but the gold foes are still in effect. So she's definitely a lot stronger than she actually was at level 1. Unless I remember wrong. I can check it later, I guess. Those were mice. Big things seem small, small things seem big. Ah, that's right. That's just what happens. Now you understand? Thanks, without too much time. Weirdos without too much time on your hand. Thank you, weirdos with too much time on your hands. Here you go, a generous coupon. Excuse me, I'll go make a bundle of my mice here later. Coupon. Knocker Company, surprise and security. Oh, wow. Spriggan and Capless, it's Fairy Britain's first department store. Grandpa told me about it. It's great, and look, according to the map, it's not far from here. Let's go check it out. Looks like it's already gone out of business. Some generous this coupon managed to be. They're already building another store in its place, too. Look, it's called Count. I've never heard of that one before. If I can see what... They've got shoes, hats, bags. Oh, wow, everything on display looks amazing. They're trim, shiny, and elegant all at once. I bet they'd be so much fun to wear. Ooh, I want them, but then again, they'd be wasted on me. The designs do lean a little feminine, but I'm guessing that's probably gender neutral. They're probably gender neutral. And wow, those are strange clothes. The sign says kimono. I've never heard of them, but I think it look good on you. Not bad. It got a pretty decent eye. Would you mind keeping it down a bit? I'm trying to stay incognito, so I don't want to attract too much attention. I'm sorry, I'm from a very small town. Oh, I see. You want to see the big city before the calamity shows up and kills you. You're lucky you're not one of those cheeky Glocaster fairies. You're also lucky your ankles aren't to my taste. Be grateful your boots are so frumpy. They are? I guess they are, huh? Still, they're very practical. Well, an odd Gogi could go to town on them and I wouldn't feel anything. You actually have to worry about Gogi bites. You must come from real Hicktown. I mean, you've got the looks of pretty upper-class wind fairy. Very stuck doing your own farming. Man, it must be rough out in the sticks. There's so few human slaves do the heavy lifting. This is weird. Don't you think this conversation is weird? Crap, she obviously suspects something. No, I don't think so. It's just neither the master nor I are used to dealing with these city fairies. Not used to them, I see. That's why you're not scared of me. Feels like there's more to it than that, though. That's strange. How come I'm not pissed off? Usually I hate every fairy I meet. Oh well, I guess that's just how some days go. Plus, there's an auction coming up. Oh, are you interested in the auction? Do you actually have an invitation? Oh, well, we came here for the auction, but we didn't know we needed an invitation to get in. I see. Invitation, huh? You know I do have an extra, but I'd sooner feed it to a goat than give it to you. That's it. Finally, an expression that suits you. It's time you learned your place, you uppity hick. Trust me, a girl like you is at least 100 years too young for an auction house. Come back when you're at least a little more grown up. Oh, wait, that's right. Low-class fairies don't even live for 100 years, do you? Guess you'll just have to make the most of your life. The dirt while it lasts, then. A gape. You know, rude as she was, it kind of seemed like we're actually good friends. Maybe you're right. She honestly didn't seem like a bad fairy to me either. There's definitely quite the range here. But I'm getting hungry and I need to get ready to stream for tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I'll be back in about 2 or 3 hours with a Grandia stream. So until next time, Thank you for watching. Hope you had a good time, and I'll see you later.